Hello class and welcome to MSE 608B. It's week 8, the final week, the final module for the course. Congratulations. We've completed weeks 1 through 7. You've done an incredible job of putting a lot of information together for the West, the Wind Energy Systems Organization. They're very pleased with what you've done. Now we get a chance to, from a capstone standpoint, kind of put it all together. We get a chance to see what it looks like. So this week, if we take a look at our lectures, the first one is going to be on people conflict, and this is something that happens in all organizations. You've got different types of conflict. You've got task, you've got process, you've got relationship types of conflicts that happen, and there's different ways to use those in a positive way or potentially a way to resolve those if they're negative types of conflict. And that's what this lecture is about. The quiz at the end has got some interesting twists to the questions that I ask you. I think you're going to find this to be a very, very enlightening type of presentation, and I think that the lecture is going to be very valuable for you in your career. All leaders and managers run into these type of conflicts. We actually identify them for you, give you a chance to see what they look like, and we talk about ways to resolve those. How do we move forward in the organization, keeping it moving forward in a positive direction? High-tech firms are constantly in situations where you've got skilled people that either don't get along with each other or need to communicate with each other, and those skill sets sometimes don't work as nicely as we would like them for most of our groups. So as you can see, we've also got the week 8 live Zoom presentation. There are 2 components to it this week. So week 8, at the end of the, Hello class and welcome to week 8 at MSE. Hello class, it's week 8. Hello class, welcome to MSE 608B. It's week 8. We finished up weeks 1 through 7. We're down to week 8. It's the final week of the course, and we've got a lot of exciting things that we're going to be doing this week. So let's take a peek at it. One of the first things you'll notice is there are no books this week because you finished them off last week. So there's no official reading required for this week. Everything that you've got in front of you is going to be team-based assignments with the exception of the peer review. So you've got one individual assignment that you have to do, which kind of summarizes where we're headed, and then you've got the course project that we're going to pull together as like a capstone type of event. Now, let's take a peek at the lectures first. The recorded lecture is on people conflict. You're going to find that we're going to explore the 3 different types of conflict, those being task, relationship, and process-based. And sometimes they go in a positive direction, giving you incredible opportunities, and other times they don't go in a positive direction, and they drive chaos, they drive drama, and things that are negative, and we're going to talk about how do we resolve that. This is going to be a very important lecture for you. I think that you'll find that the questions at the end are very enlightening, and some of them are kind of humorous. So that's your recorded portion of the lecture, and then we're going to move into the next piece, which is that week 8 Zoom live presentation. There are 2 different components to it this week. So one of them will be us talking about developing others, and that is going to be after we conduct the team presentations. So the team is going to be able to do team presentations. Your projects, as we've pulled them together, are going to give you the opportunity to do a presentation. There's a PowerPoint that you'll be required to put together. Everybody on the team must be part of the presentation of the project, and everybody must be there for the entire duration. So to get credit for the presentation, you must be here not only at the beginning of the session, but at the end. I will be asking questions of the teams once they finish their presentation, then I'll open the field up for anyone else to ask any questions they have about what the other team put together. We'll engage in a level of dialogue. It will be positive. There will not be anything where my team said this, your team said that, I think I'm right, you're wrong. That is not the objection. That's not the objective of this presentation. The presentation is meant to open up the floor for discussion. So let's take a peek at the team report and the team presentation that you're required to put together. Now there's a set of guidelines that I've put out there in a Word document. Let's go ahead and pull that up. You'll be able to see those as we continue to move forward, but here's your project report and presentation guide. This gives you kind of an overview of all of the components that are necessary. It's going to give you an explanation as to what we're looking for at WES. We hired you as a team. We brought you on. You're giving us all this information. We're asking you to synthesize it, to put it together along with additional information and make supporting recommendations. We're looking for recommendations now that you've had a 7-week view of the company and you see where we're headed. You've helped us create a series of different documents, strategies, plans, goals, objectives. You've laid out risk plans. You've helped us put a couple programs together, a people-centric leadership program and a reward and recognition program. We want to know, in addition to that, what it was, what those components are you put together, and in addition to that, where you think we need to go next. We need recommendations from you. So the final presentation and report are meant to encapsulate that type of information. So make sure you read the guide. It's got great information for you. It talks about the paper. It talks about the requirements. It gives you information on teamwork, research, the WES weekly assignments in the final project, formatting for it, whether it's the paper or the presentation. We give you specific information that we want you to have in there. I give you common mistakes made in previous courses. So these are mistakes that have been made in previous courses that prevented them from getting across the finish line with either a successful report or a successful presentation. So there are the guidelines for it. Now let's go into the assignments themselves. So let's start with the report. The report is due at the end of the week. The last day of week 8 is when the report is due. So let's jump over and take a peek at what that requirement looks like. Let me get that assignment up for you. Here's the report assignment. This gives you the details of what you're looking for. The reason I'm giving you the report assignment first is because some of this information will be very, very valuable for you when you're putting the presentation together. So getting a head start on this in week 7 was probably a great thing to do. You've got a lot of pieces. You're looking at the format for the paper. Ultimately, it's going to have a cover sheet. It's going to have a conclusion. It's going to have a reference page. You probably want to put a table of contents in there also. The Word template that I've made available for you is just a recommendation. You can go outside of that depending on how you want to do it. But it's an APA format document. Roughly 2,000 to 2,500 words. No more than 3,500 without a point deduction penalty. Unless you contact me and we discuss it and you explain to me where you think you need additional space. So that's kind of gives you, roughly the number of words, the pages. It should be Times New Roman as the format for it. In addition to that, 12-point double-spaced margins, left, right, top, and bottom must not exceed 1 inch. And if you're looking for what that's going to look like, we want you to save it in a specific, I'll call it, format. So I've got an example for you of what the format should look like when you save the document and you upload it for us. Now, let me go ahead and pull up the template so you can see what the template's going to look like. Here we go. I've created a sample template for you. You would put the name of your team on here. You would identify all your team members. It has a running head. You would want to put the information in here for the running head. And remember, blow away sample template, put the month and date. This gives you the cover sheet in an APA format. Then I've created a table of contents. You can create the list of components that you're going to talk about. I would recommend that you go to the grading rubric and take a peek at the areas that I will be grading against but each of the components that are in it, introduction all the way into explaining what a vision statement is, purpose statement, all the way down into the risks, positive and negative risks. You're going to see that all of those components are identified for you here, along with some other headers. These are areas that I think it may be important for you to understand. So go ahead and take a peek at what this looks like, this sample project template, formatted off of this. So make sure you go off of this. Now, in addition to that, now let's go into the presentation itself. Once you've got the report in a format that you think is really, really solid, then you understand what you're going to need for your presentation. So I've got a requirements document for you for the presentation. Let's go ahead and pull that up. Here's the PowerPoint assignment. So you'll see that I've got specific information for you here. Areas that I think are going to be really, really important for you, and you're going to see that that final presentation shouldn't last more than 2 hours. That gives us an extra hour in the back end for us to go ahead and do that final, I'll call it outbrief lecture for you that I'm planning on doing. I would recommend that you have that PowerPoint completed and ready for upload for me at least 12 hours prior to the Wednesday time frame. So that means Tuesday night close of business is probably when you want to have the PowerPoint completed. I can take them up to Wednesday noon. That would be the cutoff. Okay? Go ahead and get that uploaded for me. We give you the number of slides you should have, and I've got a template for you. So let me go ahead and pull the template up, and it's a PowerPoint document. Here you go. Here's a sample template. Go ahead and fill this template out. Go in and put down your vision statement, information on it, the purpose statement, the strategy, SMART goals, the balanced scorecard, KPIs, positive and negative risks, your risk matrix, the leadership training program, the rewards and recognition program, closing comments and recommendations. Those would be the mandatories that I think you need to include in here. This gives you a template and a format that should make it available for you to really get through easily. So the big things for week 8 are going to be that outbrief and the team report that you've got here. You also will have leadership reports that are due. So make sure you fill out your leadership reports. The only other assignment that I have available for you is an individual assignment, and this is where we make sure that everyone participated every week. We're going to have an Excel spreadsheet that you're going to fill out that's a peer review. And in this peer review, you'll identify all of the team members on your team. Don't put your name down. You are grading and providing me qualitative and quantitative information on the other team members. Did they attend all team meetings? Did they arrive prepared for team meetings? Did they submit any of the required assignments that you provided to them on time? Did they submit work in usable forms that adhered to the team standards? Did they actively contribute extra effort to meet team goals? There's a series here of things that you will come in and you will grade them on from a 1 to a 5 in this category. Once you've got that numerics down, then there's an area down here for you to do a qualitative description. What was the person like? Was the person easy to get along with, easy to contact, worked well with others, things like that? Or was it just the opposite? We're looking for both descriptions from you for all the people. So go ahead and do that for me. I would really appreciate that. That peer review is worth a substantial portion of your grade. Also, if we indicate that someone did not participate in specific assignments, at the end of the grading, I am going to be going back and reviewing the gradebook. This is a chance to let us know if someone didn't participate in an assignment. And if they didn't participate in an assignment, they shouldn't get credit for it. So this is one of those ways for us to make sure that everybody is working towards that collaborative environment in your team area. Now, the only other thing that we've got for you is going to be the discussion forum for week 8. And week 8 is going to have a discussion forum on team building and team communication. Remember, three, three discussion posts on 3 separate days in each graded TDA to give you full credit. So make sure you get those discussion posts in. It's going to be an exciting week for us. We want to make sure that we get you across the finish line. So congratulations on completing week 7. We're moving into week 8. Once we're done with week 8, guess what? You're going to be done with the course. Congratulations and have a great week. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.